All right, I'm over here in this is the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
I'm over here in the Bronx, New York. I'm very happy, so I come to visit my niece, and for me, it's a privilege to go and talk to her. And you know what? What important thing is like the family have to be searched. We got to be searching for family. Try to get the people. Try to say to the people that you love the person when they're alive,
Yeah.
because once they die, there's a lot of people. Oh, I miss. Oh, why you don't come back again? But when they're alive, they don't even look for one to another. So I have a couple questions for you. Can you tell me something about how's the Bronx? How's life over here?
It's hard. Everything is far, and usually you have to take the train and you gotta walk far. The area is not nice. There's a lot of gangs and there's a lot of killing, and you see a lot of homeless people in the street. And you have to basically take in that mentality. So when you walk in the street, you don't get sad or you don't feel bad for those people, because if you do, you're only gonna make yourself even more hurt. Because usually when you tell them they need help, they usually will tell you with $1, $2, you can help me, but it's not gonna go for anything good. It's just drugs.
What you mean, like if the people ask me for money, like, okay, can you give me $1, $2? What they use this money for?
Usually to buy drugs, because if you don't offer them food, and if you do, they would tell you if they want the food, but if they don't, that means they want money for drugs.
Oh my God. And because I've seen even not only in the Bronx, I see also people in the very bad conditions, even in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I see people like a lot of different type of food, like dairy, like sleeping on the sidewalk. And what about with the government? They don't help these people like that here?
Usually they do offer help, homeless shelters, but the problem is that some people do want it, but they have to wait to even get the chance to get in a room. And if they get a room, it's probably gonna be very strict, where they have to come back at a certain time, where they can't have pets, when they can't have things that they usually had outside on the street. So some people don't like it and they just give up and go back to the street.
But what about with this helper? This helper, they give you something to eat while they just for sleeping only.
Usually it's different for sleep, they give you, but it's separately for food. So that means that they have to go somewhere else for food. So some homeless shelters don't offer food, so they have to go somewhere else to get food. And usually they give canned food and rice and stuff like that. Stuff that usually people who live in the street can't cook.
Right, you mean like when they go make a big line for getting something to eat, like food, like in charity, like some churches, like Catholic churches.
Yeah.
I see in so many places like in the Third Avenue, also in Soundview, and so many other places right here in the Bronx. I see a lot of people doing a big line for asking for food, but those people are living on the street, so they don't have opportunities to go and cook that food because they're for like in cane.
Yeah.
And why they give this type of food when they know that they live on the street and they don't have possibilities? I mean, like to cook, they don't have kitchen and something like that for cooking. I don't know. So the government should have implant another kind of method to make these people being okay, or probably create. That's what I think. Create like a center for mental health, so they can be, like eating over there, sleeping over there, and someone like a psychologist that being, taking care of the mental health for those people. I don't know if they have that over here.
If it's hard, because usually psychologists you have to pay out of pocket money. It's not like something that you get for free.
Oh.
And you only get it for free if you're probably a student or somebody that has money. But for people who live in the street, they can't just go somewhere and ask for a psychologist or a therapist because they won't get it.
Okay, well, and what can you tell me? Because I see a lot of people from the Dominican Republic, that they live in here, they work here, but then when they go to the Dominican Republic, they show like a fancy life over there, like renting big and fancy cars and, giving money to the people with the big gold chains and all that. And they show an appearance to other people in the Dominican Republic that coming to America, especially to New York, is like grabbing the money from the ground, like from the floor. So, but the condition that they live in here are totally different as the way they show in the Dominican Republic. You notice that?
Yeah. Usually I think that people want to go to the Dominican Republic, and then after they go there, they want to show like they got money and stuff. So the people over there don't think, oh, you went over there to do nothing. So you come back here with just around the same thing that you had when you were here. So usually people have that mindset and they leave from New York to over there to show how fancy their life is. But when they come back here, they're just going to struggle even more because the money they spend over there, the things that they give people. And when they come back here, all they got to do is struggle for the things that they gave and they knew that they didn't have.
Yeah, because I see, and I noticed also that they show like a very different quality life. But actually, when they come over here, they start, they live in a small room like that, and they struggling for living. But I guess that's just to live by appearance, not the reality. Honestly, taking from what you've been telling me, I can tell that living in New York specifically, it is not easy to live here. What is the dangerous place in New York? Because somebody say about Brooklyn, somebody say about Bronx, but what I hear is that the Brooklyn area was dangerous, the most dangerous place in New York. But now, I don't know what happened with the Bronx. The Bronx is like getting, harder all the time, like worse all the time. What can you tell me about that?
I feel like everywhere you go in New York can be dangerous. Some places less dangerous, some places even more dangerous. But I feel it really depends on where the violence migrates, because it usually used to be in Brooklyn, but now people started being more dangerous here in the Bronx.
When I came last year, I seen like, I guess it was in Tremont. No, it was in Crotona.
Oh, Crotona.